Welcome to a brand new episode of the Fight Lounge. I'm your host RJ Meads, and this is actually the first episode that I will do of a post-fight review of an event. And today was the Francis Ngannou versus Junior Dos Santos fight that was featured on ESPN. And again, I always wanted to do something like this, and I just never got up to do it. But I really want to do a post-fight review or post-fight show next week, because next week is the UFC 239, headlined by Jon Jones, Amanda Nunes, and Ben Askren. And that's a event that's going to be, I think it's going to be a very great pay-per-view card. But I think next week it will show where Jon Jones will go with his career. If he wins, they stay light heavyweight, because now he has Chris Weidman and Luke Rockhold up there. They go up to heavyweight to fight DC. And for Amanda Nunes, if she beats Holly Holm via a knockout, did she retire? Because there's nobody who she can fight. Ben Askren, he wants that welterweight championship match. So UFC 239 is going to shape the rest of the year for the UFC. And so that's something for me to talk about. You know, this one not as much because Francis Ngannou won. Since his loss to Derek Lewis, Francis has been on a tear. 3 straight opponents, 3 straight knockouts. 2 are future Hall of Famers and former UFC heavyweight champions, Cain Velasquez and Junior Dos Santos, both in the first round. And again, Francis is a scary dude. Like I have called him, I have proclaimed Francis Ngannou the most dangerous man in the UFC, because he just clearly is. You know, Bones is always talking about going up to heavyweight. I would not like Bones against Francis. Jon Jones is very skinny, hence the nickname Bones. But he is very strong. Look, he took down Cormier, and he has skill. However, if you put Bones against Francis is going to win, even if he just swings wildly. And that's the reason why Bones hasn't jump to the heavyweight division, because even when he fought Cormier, he was still lighter than Cormier. Cormier is naturally a heavy dude, you know, he's a stocky guy, and so I think Bones is a natural light heavyweight fighter. If anything, I think he should move down to middleweight and fight Stylebender. If anything, I prefer that over the heavyweight. But for this post show, again, Francis won by TKO. I don't know what Junior Santos' game plan was. Like the commentators mentioned, his hands was down the whole time. You know, you don't do that against a elite striker and powerful striker like Francis. Junior was doing good with the leg kicks, because one actually knocked Francis down. I thought he should have been doing that more. I thought Junior should have been kicking his legs more, make some kicks to the body, because Dos Santos has great kicks. Like, he has great leg kicks to the head, great leg kicks to the body. Like, he should have used that more. In the post-fight conference, he said that for those you don't know, he swung and missed, and while his back was turned to Francis just unloaded and was hitting him with bombs, and then Dos Santos fell and the referee stopped it. Dos Santos said that he made a mistake. He shouldn't have threw it overhand right, because he did the same thing in Derek Lewis fight, and he, I guess, overdid it, and Lewis hit him with bombs. The only difference is when Derek Lewis was hitting Junior Santos and then dropped him, Francis, it did. And as soon as the fight was over, Francis even looked for Dan White in the crowd, and he told him, "I deserve the title shot. I deserve the win between Stipe and Cormier." And Dan White said, "You got it." Dan White even said if Wolven gets hurt, that he'll put Francis in the match, which is huge. Because one, let's say because Cormier just had surgery, so let's say if he pulls out, it will be Stipe versus Francis for the interim heavyweight championship, and it's a rematch. So that's important. If Stipe gets hurt, boom, you put Francis against DC. It's actually a bigger fight, a much bigger fight. I'm in the minority who thinks Stipe should have got a immediate rematch, because he defended the UFC heavyweight championship the most. Like, the record was 3, and that was by Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar, and Stipe beat it. And he fought monsters, Dos Santos, after Overeem. Okay, I did some research and I take that back. I misspoke. The title was only successfully defended twice, and Stipe beat it by defending 3 times against Overeem, Dos Santos, and Francis. And so I know it's only 3 times defended. It's not a big amount, but for the history of that division, like, that's the most times it's been defended. So I really think that he deserved a rematch. But we will see, man. Again, I was so happy this was on ESPN and not ESPN Plus. I think the lesser fights should be on ESPN Plus, and like number 1 contender fights like this one should exclusively be on ESPN. One more thing before I wrap up this post-fight review of Dos Santos versus Ngannou. Cormier has hinted that the Stipe match might be his last match, because Cormier originally wanted to retire last year, and Dana White kind of talked him out of it. Ironically, that's when there was rumors of Brock Lesnar coming back. So Dana White was like, hey, save for one more big fight, But now the big fight is gone, I think UFC wants to make Bones versus Cormier again, but there's no point. Bones beat him twice. The first time it wasn't even close. The second time, he knocked him out clean, So, and again, the fans know, casual fans know, I would like to see Cormier versus Francis, because I think he beats Stipe again. Again, the funny thing about Stipe, and if you're a hardcore UFC fan, you know this. Nobody really believed Stipe. Every time he defended the championship, he was like, all right, this is the match you're gonna lose, and be over him. Oh, wait, he fights Junior Dos Santos, and he knocks out Junior Dos Santos. And then when Francis came, they said, oh, he's definitely getting knocked out, and he didn't. And then when to Cormier, he was like, well, Cormier is a smaller guy, and this and that, and then he finally got knocked out. So a lot of people don't believe in Stipe. I think that's why a lot of people don't give him the credit he deserves. But hey, when you prove people wrong, just like Andy Ruiz, a lot of people isn't giving him the credit he deserves because they didn't believe in him, or they was wrong and they just don't want to admit it. But again, if Cormier do in fact retire, what happens? Because Stipe is coming off back-to-back losses to Cormier, because Stipe has not fought since he lost to Cormier. So what do? You put Stipe and Francis again and have jeopardy of Stipe going 3 straight losses. And against Stipe, it's not Brock. He's not pulling in major numbers. Stipe isn't pulling in major numbers. So what do? If you're the UFC, and then they want Cormier for one more fight, even if it's for Bones, but they definitely want Francis versus Cormier, because if Francis beats Cormier, then boom, the heavyweight division is open, the light heavyweight division is open, and there could be a new king. But like I said, if Cormier retires, who's gonna fight Francis for a championship? Stipe, after getting knocked out twice, if he gets knocked out the second fight, but if he lose to a close fight, okay, it can be it can be passable. So I don't know, but that would do it for the first ever post-fight wrap-up review. I don't know what the name is, but basically I will be talking after, big fights. And again, next week is UFC 239. I can't wait. It's so many storylines that's gonna be coming after that. If John Jones lose, that's what I'm talking about. If he wins, that's what I'm talking about. They stay light heavyweight, they go up to heavyweight. If Holm loses, what happens to her? Her record has been shaky since she beat Ronda. It has been very inconsistent. And again, for Amanda, what does she do? Does she get the Cyborg rematch? And same with Ben Askren. If he wins, he will call out Usman for the UFC welterweight championship. So again, so much to talk about next week. So that will do it for today. And once again, if you listen to this on my YouTube page, if you could like, comment below, and share this video, and of course subscribe. I try to post daily content on this page just related to boxing, UFC, MMA, and anything really fighting related, And so yeah, all the links to the social media accounts is in the description. So I'll see you guys next time. But I shall see you guys next week. So, peace.